everyone. Okay, that's always the hardest part, getting everybody tagged so that people know that I'm going live. I'm a little bit late tonight, sorry. We got up this morning and there was a flood in our garage. And I just want to give a huge shout out to Team Farrell. I called them up and I said, hey, I've got all this water coming out of my hot water heater. I need help. And they sent over a little crew, two really great men, and they got everything all taken care of. And we were just so pleased, so very, very, very pleased that we have hot water again. So that kind of put me back on everything else that I was doing in the afternoon. And we ended up having dinner late and blah, 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 blah. But here I am. So let's get to it. So let's do some crafts. I've been making cards for the assisted living facilities, and if you work at any of them that I've sent them out to, a couple of you have posted it on Facebook. I just hope that they bring some smiles and let some of our seniors know that there are people out there thinking of them, and that we care about them, we miss them, and as soon as this is over, we're going to get back out there and see them. I really feel bad because each month Brittany and I would try to get to the assisted living facilities and do some crafts. So this is one of the ways that we're able to, just let people know that we're thinking about them, we care about them. So in doing that, and doing these little live Facebooks and starting this little group, I've actually gotten signed up with Stampin' Up, and I've become a Stampin' Up demonstrator. So if there's anything that I make that you like that I use Stampin' Up products, I can attach my website so that you can go to my website and order any of those products. And I'll try to, in the future, maybe even put a list out of different things that are coming up that I'm going to try to make with them. But I wanted to show you two of the cards that I worked on, and then we'll get to the project that we're going to make this week. So this is one of the cards. I don't know if you can see, but what I did was I stamped some of the tropical flowers onto colored cardstock, and then I fussy cut them and cut them out. The stamp set that I used, I should have had this prepared, sorry, is Timeless Tropical, okay, and I used this, wrong side, this large hibiscus, and I cut them out, fussy cut them. I also used the small one and the leaf, and we used just some, plain colored cardstock, and the cardstock holds the stamp. The inks really nicely. It wasn't anything that I really had to fuss with. I didn't have to use the heat dryer on it or anything. And then I just cut them out and made a little collage of flowers. And then, it was upside down, sorry, made a little collage of flowers. And then I used the stamp that said, rest and relax, you deserve it. So I made a bunch of these, and I'm going to send these out to the assisted living facilities this week. And then the next one that I made, same stamp set, the Timeless Tropical. I'm not real good at this. I'm not really a salesperson, but I'm going to give this a whirl. I used the palm trees. And last week I was telling everyone how much I really like the alcohol markers that I got. And again, I just got an inexpensive set off of Amazon. And what I did was I took, I don't know if you can see it, white cardstock with three different, hi Paul, hi Tabitha, three different colors of the alcohol markers, and I just, went across it, made a little sunset looking type thing. Then I stamped the palm trees on top of it, and then I used my heat set gun just to dry it, make sure it was nice and dry, and then I took the alcohol markers, hi! I took the alcohol markers and colored in the palm trees so that they would, just have a little bit of character, something a little bit different. So those are the two cards that I made this week. And again, it was Stampin' Up Timeless Tropical, and if you would like to get them, then just let me know and I can send you in the right direction. I haven't got all that stuff all set up yet. I'm doing it. I was doing it because a lot of people were asking me about the different papers that I use. And let me tell you, the papers at Stampin' Up, amazing. The quality of the papers are just amazing. But this way, when I do a project, and if you do like the paper, you don't have to worry about whether or not we're on lockdown and you can't get to Michael's to go get a hot buy tablet or anything. This way you can just go, and the prices aren't really bad. I mean, the paper is a little bit higher than buying the hot buy when it's on sale, but it's no higher than buying it when it's not on sale, and the quality 100 times better. And that's not to say that I don't like Michael's, because I love me some Michael's. All right, so enough of that. Let's move on. Ooh. I like to keep my stuff all put away. All right, so today we're going to make these cute little stationery sets. It's a little box that measures 6 3/4 inches by 4 inches by 3 inches. So it's 6 3/4 inches wide, 4 inches tall, and then 3 inches wide that way. And it's got a little lid, and then inside of it I made some 3x3 little note cards, and then envelopes for them. And then it's got a little divider so you can put your note cards in on one side, and then your envelopes in on the other side. And this has only got about 12 in there. I could probably hold about 15, maybe even 20 of the note cards in there. And I'm sure I could get 20 of the envelopes in. Hi, Diane. I'm so pretty. Oh, please. First time watching Craft Corner and new crafting. Oh, yes, you did. You were crafting this week. That's right. It's how I, unwind. Hi, Linda. So, yeah, this is just how I unwind. And eventually I'll get good enough at talking to people and doing this that I can have a bottle of wine while I'm doing my crafting, because nothing better than a bottle of wine, some paper, and some scissors. So, all right, so this is what we're going to make. All right, and I made a couple of them. Let me tell you, getting the measurements exactly right for the lid I had no problem with, but for some reason this bottom, I had a little bit of trouble. So I actually went through 4 bottoms before I got the measurements exactly right. But so this is the 2 stationery boxes. All right, so what we're going to need is 3 sheets of 12 by 12 paper. And you're going to take one for the lid and cut it into 8 1/8 by 11 3/4. That's going to be the lid. Then the bottom box is 12 by 11 3 1/4. So you're just going to, on a 12 by 12, you're just going to trim off on one side 1/4 of an inch. That's it. Okay? But it's critical that you do that, trust me. And then the third page of 12 by 12 you're going to need is to make the inside layer of chipboard, so that it's not, just brown chipboard. You want to have it decorated kind of cute. And then you can take whatever pieces of scrap that you have that measure anything over 6 inches by 3 inches and cut it down to 3 by 6, fold it in half, and that's how you're going to make your little cards. And then I always use, hi Shauna, I was so happy to see you at the PAN meeting today. And then I use a punch board to make my envelopes, and I'll show you how to do that. This is a little bit unorganized tonight, so just bear with me. And again, we're just here to have some fun, and I know that you guys will get a laugh out of something goofy that I do. All right, so let's start by doing the bottom part of the box. I'm going to use my scoreboard back here, and we're going to score on the 12-inch side 2 5/8, 2 5/8, and then 9 3/8. All right, Now, this is where I kept getting all messed up and why I ended up going through 6 bottoms trying to make this. All right, so on the 11 3/4 inch side, you're going to score at 1/4 and 4 3/5. So 1/4 first. And then at 4 3/5. 3/5? 3/8. I'm so sorry. 4 3/8. I knew that didn't look right. All right, and then you're going to turn it 1, 2, so that it's the opposite side, and you're going to score again at 1/4 and 4 3/8. All right, and only because I've messed this up so many times, I just want to triple check this. All right, so what I'm going to do is take one that actually worked, and I just want to put it down here and make sure. Yes, okay, perfect. Finally, I'm telling you, it took me 6 tries to get those measurements. All right, so this is the bottom. All right, we're going to take our finger blade and we're going to cut out our notches. Now, this 1/4 inch that we did here, this is just so that when we put the chipboard in, we have a little lip to fold over to give it a nice clean edge. So we're not going to do too much with that. We're just cutting out, we're going to free up these center tabs here, and then we're going to put 2 little nicks in here so that when we fold that over, that little edge over, that there's no overlapping. So we're going to angle cut and a slight angle cut. When I do my angle cuts, I'm not looking to really cut out any of the paper. I just want it so that when we fold it, hi Kim, we're Kim's daughter. Kim was saying that her daughter loves to do crafts, so I told her that she should have her watch one of the Kathleen's Craft Corners. And usually on the weekends I do something geared towards the kids. I know I didn't do anything this weekend. It was Easter. My husband and I kind of just hung out back by the pool and relaxed because this whole Corona thing and owning a small business and trying to make sure that everyone's payroll's being met and stuff is a little bit stressful, but I mean, we're getting through it. All right, so let's get back to the craft. All right, so the angle cut is just a slight angle. You don't want to take a piece of pizza out of it. You just want to take a little feathering out. All right. See? Not a piece of pizza, just a little feather. All right. Now, when we fold this up, that 1/4 inch trim that we're going to fold down around it, I like to cut just a little angle off of the edge there. Again, so that it's not going to bulk up on you. All right, and then we're just going to cut a little notch out of that 1/4 inch trim. Each of the folds, and then another little corner off there. And then let's free up this center tab on this side. Little feather out. All right, so now that we've got that all done, I'm going to set my finger blades aside there, and we're just going to fold and varnish. Get my larger bone folder out. Fold and varnish on all of the folds. And this paper that I'm using is the what is this called? Mint to Be Invention Future. Anyway, I got it because see the little lemons? I'm having a where are we at? See these lemons? This was one of the Michael's Hot Buys. This I got before all of the Corona stuff, the lockdown. But I'm having a thing with lemons this year. I'm loving food made with lemon for some reason, and crafts with lemon. A couple weeks ago I did the cards with the lemonade on there. I'm gonna do some more of them and put them in my my little mailings to the ALFs this week too, because I just thought they were super cute. I'm just really loving lemons and watermelon. I think I showed you all on Friday these little watermelon that I'm making out of the circle punches, and my little scallop punch to give it the little bite. So yeah, so lemons and watermelons for some reason. I think I'm craving summer. Winter was too long this year. I don't know, and not nearly as long down here in Florida as you guys have it up there in Jersey and Pennsylvania and all. But I'm just loving the lemons and the watermelons. Oh, I made this watermelon salad this last week. It was Friday before Easter, Good Friday. And all it was watermelon, cucumber, mint, and feta cheese. Oh my God, so good, so refreshing and delicious, absolutely delicious. So you just take the, oops, I didn't cut these little notches off these corners here. See, told you I'd do something goofy. All right, so gotta take my little notches out so when I fold this 1/4 inch trim over that it's not bulky. All right, so yeah, so it was delicious. I never made it before, and you guys are probably saying, oh my God, I've been making that for years. What the heck's wrong with her? But yeah, so I made it. It was absolutely delicious. All right, so now once you've got it all folded and varnished, then we can put it together. I'm going to use wet glue to do it, and when I'm making boxes, I like to have that little bit of extra movement that the wet glue gives you that the double-sided tape doesn't give you. When you do the double-sided tape, you're done. You stick it on there, you're finished. You have no opportunity to move it around. When you're using the wet glue, you have a little bit of play in it, so if you make it too tight or too loose, you can move it. You don't have long to move it, but you have a little bit of time. All right, so what we're doing is we're folding it up like this, all right? So I'm going to take and put glue. Now, this smaller tab is a little bit wider than either one of the sides, so you just have to be careful not to put too much glue on the smaller tab. I'm going to go about 3/4 of the way over and put my glue in there. And I'm a little bit generous with it. The thicker the layer, the more time you have to move it. All right, and then see with that little sliver that comes out there, it doesn't make it exactly flush up against the bottom. So that's why I like to have that little bit of time to move it. All right, and then use the bone folder and really work it in there, get it worked down. And then the same thing when you bring this over. See, it doesn't fit right up against the bottom because you take that little sliver out. So you just have to make sure that you get it nice and even. All right, so it's going to be about 1/4 of an inch too far away from the fold there. So don't put glue all the way up to that fold. Give yourself about 1/4 of an inch. Fill in your glue. Bring this up. Went just a little too far. The top up here, that's what's even. Down here, it's not because you take that little sliver out. But see, using the wet glue, I had that little bit of time when I didn't get it just even with the top. I was able to move it. All right, so then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. You're going to make sure you glue the same side. So I glued this side first, so I'm going to bring this flap back. You're going to put on the small flap 3/4 of the way over your glue. All right. And you always glue the small flap first, then you bring a large flap in, and then you're able to glue that large flap to the second large flap. All right. So let me kind of have to eyeball it so I know exactly what's going on there. All right, now we're going to use the large flap. And again, you're going to be about, I'm hoping you can see this. See, it's about 1/4 of an inch away from where the fold is. And I take a line, a bead of glue, and draw a little line so I know where my glue's going to go. And then I fill it in. And again, be kind of generous with it so that you're able to have that little bit of wiggle room, that little bit of time for the wiggle room. Okay. There we go. See, so the top's flush, but the bottom is where that little feather is out. All right, and use your bone folder and smush that glue down, work it in there, make sure that it's nice and stuck. Now I'm going to take the 1/4 inch flap that's going to make the nice edge around the inside, and I'm going to fold it outward so that while we're putting the chipboard in there, it's not in our way. The other reason I do this, I notice if you fold it backwards, when you do fold it over, you don't get that tearing in the where the fold is. Sometimes if you fold or score things too hard, you get a little bit of tearing. And you can, I mean, there's other ways to cover it up. Some people like rough it up to make it look like it's a little bit vintage and it was meant to be that way if the tearing's too bad. But I have noticed working with this paper, this cardstock, if I fold it backwards, when I fold it the other way, it's kind of training those fibers in the paper that it's going to be moving, so then it doesn't rip so easily. All right, so we're going to take our box and set it aside and let that dry. Just going to grab a quick drink of water, sorry. I know that's kind of rude, but I try to keep talking because I'm always afraid if I stop talking, I'm going to lose people's attention. All right, so then we're going to take the chipboard. You're going to need 2 pieces of chipboard that measure 6 3/4 long by 4 inches high. 2 pieces of that size. And then you need 3 pieces that measure, oh, please tell me I cut 3. Oh no. Oh, yes I did. Okay. You need 3 pieces that measure 3 inches across by 4 inches tall. So your box is 4 inches tall and it's 3 inches wide. So this is going to be the 2 ends and then that divider piece in the center. Set your divider piece aside because you're not going to put that on the piece of paper yet. Let me get the little pieces thrown away. All right, so we're going to take our chipboard and we're going to glue it down on that 3rd decorative piece that we have. Sometimes I use the double-sided tape for this, and then other times I use the wet glue. Today I've been using the wet glue only because I don't have a whole lot of the double-sided tape. And I'm sure that that's not one of the necessities that Amazon will make sure we get right away. So I don't really want to run out of it because I do use it on the cards. And I am kind of passionate about making sure that we get these cards out to the assisted living facilities because I'll tell you, my mom, well, my grandma, most of you know that I was adopted by my grandmother anyway. She passed away 2 years ago, March 25th. And the last 3 years of her life, I had her in a memory care center. And I'll tell you, if this was all going on while I had her at the memory care, I would have definitely been one of those people sitting outside the window with trying to talk to her on a telephone. This is just, you know, a sad, scary time for our seniors, and they're not allowed to have anybody come visit them or anything. So getting some cards out to them, it's the least we can do. So if anyone's making cards and you want to mail them to me so that I can, you know, get them out for you or anything, just let me know. You can send them to my office and I will be more than glad to make sure they get to the assisted living facilities. So what we're doing now is gluing the chipboard down to the decorative cardstock, and you don't have to worry about the edges or anything because these raw edges are going to be hidden when you put them into the box. So I'm just gluing them down, and then I will take my finger blade and trim around so that we can get them inside the box. So I'm just putting glue on them, and I try to glue them at least on one edge so that you're not cutting all of the edges. All right. Oops. Oh, I will be okay with that, but I should have had this over just a little bit more because I need this piece when I do that center divider piece. All right, so then we take the finger blade and you're just going to go around the edges. And cut out your chipboard. See, now it's a nice little decorative front so that it's not just the brown inside the box. All right, so we're going to go around all 4 of these pieces that we've got glued down here. So I hope everyone's trying to get some relaxing time in during this. I know that a lot of us are working from home and that's a little bit hard to navigate sometimes, but at least your commute's good, right? I saw a cute little meme where a lady gets in her car, she's going to work, she drives around the block, goes back in her garage, gets out of the car. It's about how I feel. I get up in the morning, go make my coffee, go to the office in the front of the house, start working on stuff. All right, so let's get all 4 of these pieces trimmed out here. And again, if you have any questions or anything, please post them in the comments. I will go back and read them, answer any questions. I know one lady had missed a step or something, and you can always, you know, all of these lives are always archived so that you can go back and, you know, collect your materials and try to make it again with me. All right, so once we've got all these chipboards cut out, I'm going to just set these the scrap paper aside because this is what we're going to use to cover that 3rd piece of 3x4 so that we can use it for the divider. I'm just going to set that aside. All right, whenever I'm putting chipboard into a box, doesn't matter your measurements. If you're just a little bit off a hair here or there, it gets hard. Hi Kim, hi Joanne, hi Patty, hi Pam. It gets a little bit hard to put it in here if it's just a hair off. So, oh, see, this one, I just need a little bit of a trim. I always double check everything before I try to glue it in and just make sure that everything's going to fit. There we go. There, see, now it slides right in. And it's just, look, a little tiny hair of it. All right, so that's one piece, and then I'm going to make sure the other piece just needs a little tiny bit. Actually, it looks like the cardstock, I might have been over just the hair. There we go. There we go, see, slides right in. And then let's make sure the ends slide in. These are usually where you have your problem because your chipboard is 1/16 of an inch, but you got 2 of them there now, so that's 1/8 of an inch. So then this piece that's 3 inches is actually, you only actually need 2 inches and 7/8. So we're just going to trim this here, just a little tiny bit off the side here, so that we have a nice clean fit. Just a little bit more. Yep, perfect. I know this one's not gonna, yeah. Went a little crooked there. All right. Oh, still a little too big. you know, all you have to be off is just a little tiny bit when you're putting the sides and stuff together. That's why I always make sure that I measure everything again when I'm putting it in there. All right, let me clear this off. So now we can glue our chipboard in here. I'll take the sides out and the front and the back. We're just going to put some wet glue on here. And the chipboard, you don't have to buy chipboard. You can use, recycle. I've got my closet over there. I've got all kinds of 12-pack boxes, empty cereal boxes, and some of the stuff that's too thin. Once in a while, I'll just sit outside and, you know, take some Mod Podge or some glue and put it together and make it 2 layers thick, and then cut it down to size so that it can be stored neatly. And use the bone folder to really press the glue down there because you don't want it coming out after you do all that. Let's get all these glued in here. I need to fill my little bottle here. And I love the art glitter glue, and I get it on Amazon, but on the front of the bottle, www.artglitter.com, it's cheaper if you go right to the website and get it. It has a thing if you want to be a wholesaler or anything, but who needs $150 worth of art glitter glue? I mean, yeah, I might use it, but not everybody's going to use $150 worth of art glitter glue. Because if you're going to be a distributor for them, one, you have to have your EIN, which I have one, but I'm still not going to do that. Your first order has to be $150, but then you can order it $50 at a time. And they sell other stuff like glue, some other little things, but it's not anything that I'm interested in. However, it's still cheaper buying it retail off of them than it is to buy it off of even Amazon. So I think that's what I'm going to do this time. And they sell it in a 32-ounce jug that I can keep refilling my little, what is this one, 2 ounces? Yeah, my little 2-ounce bottle, because usually I get a couple of 8-ounce bottles off of Amazon and I use it to fill that, but a 16-ounce bottle off of their website is just a few dollars more than the 8-ounce bottle off of Amazon. So of course I'm going to go get it off their website. As long as it, you know, gets here okay and all, because I've been very happy with the craft supplies that I bought off Amazon. Not nearly as happy as I am with that Stampin' Up! Paper though. I'm telling you, that's some nice paper. I made Bill's Easter basket out of it. Let's see. Here's the paper. Oops, his basket's out in the kitchen. But look at that, isn't that cute? It's got palm trees and then these little woodies. When he saw the paper, he was telling me how much he liked it. So I made, you know, some Easter baskets. I think Friday's live I did that. And his Easter basket had the little palm trees and the woodies. He thought it was the cutest thing. You know, little things make him happy. He's a good guy. All right, so we've got our chipboard glued in. See, looks much nicer than just brown chipboard, right? All right, so now we're going to take this little 1/4-inch flap that's all the way around. We're going to put some glue on it, and we're going to fold that down. All right, let me just clean my tip off. Oh, that's the other thing they have on this website. They sell extra little tips too. And that's what really has me hooked on this glue, is I love the metal tips because you can get a much more precise bead of glue and it just makes it so much easier. All right. So you're just going to fold that 1/4-inch down. I keep a little rag on the edge of my table here so when I have glue on my fingers I can quick wipe it off. Alrighty. See? Get a little extra. And the glue dries clear, so look at me, I'm just making a mess. So the glue dries clear, so even if you get a little bit on the edge of the paper or anything, no one's ever going to be able to notice. And these little stationery kits, they make a cute little gift. Not this one, I just came up with this one today, but I made a stationery kit and sent to my mother-in-law in Tennessee for Easter. And she loved it. So I filled it with some cards, and then that way she can send cards to like her grandkids, and she has a sister out there and all, her other son, because, you know, they're on lockdown too. And what a nice little surprise when you go to the mailbox and you find out someone, you know, thought of you and sent you a card. And I understand we text and we're on Facebook and we do all those kinds of things, but, you know, nothing beats a good old snail mail card. So these boxes, they're going to have little 3x3 cards and envelopes, and you can use them like for gift tags or just a little, you know, little sentiment, a little note that you want to give somebody. And I thought I'm going to actually make a bunch of these so I can drop them off for the activities directors and stuff at some of the assisted living facilities, and then that way they can, you know, keep the little cards going, and, you know, a little marketing for elder assistants. Got a network, right? All right, let's see here, what is going on? It's the glue dried up too quickly. That's the other thing. This is very fast drying glue. So there we go. All right. So if you don't put enough, that thin layer dries really quickly. All right, so this is the bottom of the box. And see, it's nice and sturdy. I don't have nails. I can't really tap anymore. But see, nice and sturdy. So you've got 3 inches by 4 inches tall by 6 3/4 of an inch long. So that'll hold envelopes on one side and cards on the other side. So we need to put a little divider in there. Now the way we're going to do that is we take the chipboard that measures 3 by 4, and then the scrap piece of paper that was left that we had glued the other pieces of chipboard on, and you're going to glue it so that the 3-inch side ends up with 8 inches worth of paper so that you can fold it over so both sides of this piece of chipboard is going to be covered. So we're going to do it the same way. Let's see here. I'm going to do it this way. Get the glue on it, and I'll show you how to cut it so you can cover both sides. All right. Glue that down on one side. Use the bone folder, smush it down, make sure that glue's nice and adhered. All right. Clear everything so you can see this. So you're going to cut it, and then you're going to flare out. And the reason you're going to flare out is because you want this a little bit wider so that when you cover it, you don't have any of the brown showing. Hi, Wendy. Hey, Kim. Kim's been doing a lot of cooking. But when you work out as much as she does, I guess you can eat whatever you want. But I told her she should have Kim's cooking corner. All right, so you're just going to cut up the side and then flare out. Okay? And you do the same thing. Same thing with the other side. Cut along side of the chipboard and then flare out. All right. Don't worry about this nonsense over here. This is going to just get glue on the chipboard. And then you're just going to fold it over. Use your bone folder, press it down again. Make sure it's nice and stuck. Take your finger blade and then trim around the edges. You should have 3 edges that are going to need to be trimmed. The edge where the fold is, that's going to be the exposed edge. It's going to be at the top of the piece of chipboard inside the box so that you don't see brown edges. All right. Let's make sure it fits in there. Yeah. All right. And you kind of eyeball it. Your envelopes are going to be slightly bigger than your cards, so it's okay if one side is slightly bigger than the other side, but you don't want it too off because you're, you know, it's 6 3/4 and you got 3-inch cards, so you're just going to kind of do it right in the center. So what you're going to do is around the raw edges, you're going to put a bead of glue. The lighting in here is really bad. Bill's actually been talking about me getting some better lights so that if I keep doing this, people will be able to actually see what I'm doing. All right. So we got our glue around the edge. Okay. And we're going to, now I have, you know, the grid here so I can kind of see where the middle of my box is. I'm going to slide that right in there. And then I'm going to kind of hold it for a little bit just to make sure it adheres. All right. So that's everything that we're going to do for the bottom of the box. Let's just get this adhered in here, and then we're going to put that lid together. Oh, I moved it. Then we're going to get that lid put together so that we can put the box all together, and then that way we can decorate it and we'll be all finished. All right, so I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to set one of these other boxes on it just so that it holds that down there. I'm going to wipe off my hands, and we're going to get this lid put together. All right, so for the lid, you're going to use your 8 1/8 by 11 3/4 inch piece of cardstock that we had set aside. We're going to get out that scoreboard again. On each side, we're going to score it. Where did I put? Oh, there it is. My little scoring tool. We're going to score it at 3/4 and at 2 1/2. So 3/4 of an inch, and then 2 1/2 inches, and then we're going to do that on all 4 sides. 3/4 of an inch and 2 1/2. And you're going to turn it and do it on all 3 of these sides so that we can put this lid together. 3/4, 2 1/2. All right, I'm going to finish with the scoreboard for now. Put my little tool back in it so I don't lose it. All right, so once you get that done, you're going to take your finger blade or a pair of scissors, whatever your preferred cutting tool is, and you're going to, on each of the corners, you're going to cut off the 3 surrounding edges, and you're going to loosen up these flaps. So what we're going to do, and then this where we scored the 3 1/4, it's the same thing as we did around the lip of the box. This is going to make a lip so that you have a nice clean edge around the edge of your lid. We're not going to add chipboard to it because you don't need to, but that's what that 3 1/4 is. So you're going to angle cut just a little bit on that edge, and then you're going to cut out those 2 boxes, angle cut this edge, cut out this box, and then you're going to free up your tab. Angle cut it, a little feather out there, and then you can trim it down if you want to. I see some of the people on YouTube, they actually, you know, trim those all out. So, all right, so we're going to do that on all 4 of these corners. quiet in here. Yeah, I tell you, I really get nervous when it's quiet, that I've lost everybody's attention. And I know not everybody watches it all the way through or anything like that. This is just something for me to occupy my mind with. But I appreciate spending time with everyone, and I'm hoping that I give some people some inspiration to do some crafts. You know, one of the things that I really enjoy doing is spreading a little bit of joy through crafting. It's something that, you know, is very non-judgy. It's not anything that you have to stress about. Brittany and I have, well, it's Brittany's saying, actually, I think it's Bob Ross's saying, and she says it all the time, there's no mistakes in art, just happy accidents, and I love it. So, and I think man, I miss that kid. I'm so used to seeing her every day at work and everything, and I haven't seen her in, good golly, a month. I talk to her all the time. We FaceTime and stuff, but it's not the same. All right, so you're going to cut out your 4 tabs, all right, and then on each of your center tabs, you've got that 3/4 of an inch border that's going to be folded in. So it's just like putting a box together. All right, so we're going to fold on all of this 4 lines, fold and varnish. And then the same thing with the 3/4 inch lip around the edge. I'm going to fold it the opposite way, just so that it doesn't, see here, well, you can't really see. Folding it this way, it kind of distressed, but now when I fold it back, it's not going to crack. So I don't know that you can see that, but my theory works. Just trust me, try it. All right, we're going to fold our tabs in, and then we're going to glue this down. Now, I have a foolproof way to make sure that your box lid is going to fit your box, because sometimes they're just a little bit too tight or a little bit too loose. All right, get your first edge glued in. Then you're going to take your box and fold it over. And this one, it actually works perfectly if it's lined up exact. So that kind of gives you a guide on where you're going to glue it. Now, had it not worked that it was exactly in line with the crease, then I would have showed you, and I'll do the other end the same way. But it really does make a difference if you just have that little bit of extra room that you need. But see, this one fits right in. All right, so let's do the other side. Glue the first edge in first. And line that up nice and neat. Use the bone folder, smush it down. But now before you glue this one in, set your box inside there. Ooh, got a little, there we go. All right, see, this one doesn't fit exactly right. So this gives me an idea. All right, there's just, it's about 1/8 of an inch. A little over 1/8 of an inch is going to need to hang out there. So I'm going to put glue on my tab, but when I bring this up, I'm not going to bring it all the way to the seam. We're going to give it that little bit of 1/8 of an inch play there so that it fits. All right, get that smushed down. We're going to try it one more time, make sure that, see, yep, slides right in there now. Now, had I not done that and I made it go all the way up to the edge, it would have been too tight and the lid wouldn't have fit. But that's just a little thing from playing with paper as much as I do that I've kind of picked up on. And it's probably not something, you know, any type of theory that anyone uses or anything like that. It's just a Kathleenism. All right, so then we're going to take our 3/4 of an inch border, and we're going to glue that in. Take the bone folder and press it down. Get that glue nice and stuck. Now I forgot to go back and bend them the right way so that they folded without me sticking my hands in the glue. There we go. All right. And I always like to do the long ends first for some reason. Once in a while you'll catch me doing the short end first, but I really prefer to get the long ends glued down first. Get them out of the way. Get the bone folder, press that down. And then do the short ends. Got a little wrinkle in it. I don't know what happened there. Paper's not wrinkled. Oh well. Okay. All right, now we got this all glued down. Make sure that you're using your bone folder to really mesh that glue in there. Let's make sure we've got... Now what happened here? Oh, there we go. All right. Got a nice little lid on our box. So, all right, now I'm going to use one of my paper bows that I made. This is green and yellow. Oh, I've got a green bow in here. See all my little bows? When I'm bored, I take my Cricut and I cut out the pieces and I just make bows. If I'm not making bows, I'm punching out flowers and making flowers, and then I use them as embellishments to decorate any of the boxes or bags or anything else that I've made. So I think this is really cute with the plaid at the bottom, and then the lid's got the pretty little flowers on it. So I'm just going to take a little bow and put on the side and call it a day. Okay, I'm going to hold that there for a second. So this is the 3x3 inch stationery cards box, and if you need me to go over how to make the little 3x3 stationery cards, I'll be more than glad to do that. But I've been on here for quite some time, bending your ear, talking, getting my frustrations about this stupid water heater. Like anything else could need to possibly go wrong. It's just been crazy. But anyway, I'm glad that I got to spend some time with you. All of my chamber family, I miss you guys. I cannot wait to get out there and see everyone again. PAN, Pasco Aging Network, Community Service Council. I miss all of my networking friends so much. 2 years ago, I was horrible at networking. I didn't do much, and then it just like overnight blossomed. And now I've made a lot of really good friends, and I miss them. I miss all of them. I hope you're all hanging in there, and if there's anything at all that I can do for you, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Even if you just need somebody's shoulder to lean on and an ear to listen, I'm here. As long as I'm not on the phone with a client or trying to get something taken care of with these small business loans, I'll be more than glad to listen. I know Marianne from Career Sources, I kind of let all of my frustrations out and told her all about it, and I felt so much better afterwards. It's really nice just knowing that you're not alone right now, that we're all going through this. I've got a lot of friends that own their own businesses, and it's just a crazy time. It's not anything that we could have prepared for. I mean, Bill and I have always prepared for slow times and stuff. It's part of the industry. It's part of home care. You'll get, an influx of cases, and then you get people passing away, moving in with family, going into assisted living, and then all of a sudden you've got this lull, and then you get an influx again. So we're used to that. But this is just something that, we're not used to. So, again, Thank you for spending your Tuesday evening with me doing some crafts. And if you are watching this on replay or whatever they call it, thank you for tuning in. I hope I've inspired you to do something crafty. Get your mind off of things, and I'll see you soon. Bye.